Dopamine. Dopamine now. Can you feel it now? Check it. Dopamine.
back on the tail of Gunnar. As he's looking to make an overtake already. Down the inside he goes.
Is he gonna go? He's gonna do it!
Oh, with Hackett now up into P9. Down the inside he goes. Another aggressive move on the other Mercedes driver. Is he gonna make a mistake? Doesn't look like.
Closing. Problem is, if he goes.
Oh, that's nice for Broad Adam, moving up to P7.
As he's currently looking to gain about 3 or 4 points. Oh, and is Nelboy going to go for it down the inside of Waza? Seems like he is, and he makes up that position. Beautiful overtake by Nelboy.
12 races, multiple divisions, 20 drivers.
All that sound good? Then why not join us now ahead of the new season? The link to our Discord will be in the description, and we hope to see you on track with us.
Delta T Racing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to DTR Division 1. We're here in Belgium for Spa-Francorchamps. And as you can see on the screen, at least qualifying is a little bit soggy. I know a few drivers are going to be relatively annoyed if the race is going to be wet as well. But we'll see what happens. Yep, only 11, Johnny. There were meant to be 13, but a couple of drivers haven't shown up. I believe it is Sportmad and Tom Putty that we are missing from the reserves. But while the drivers are currently going around on their first out laps, we'll bring up the drivers' standings and constructors. So, as we can see, Benny is still in the lead by 28 points after finishing third in the Austria reverse race last time out. Theo came second in that race and has got himself to 132 points. Whereas Masked Ranger came first and closed the gap slightly to 114, with Red Bull now breaking the 200 point mark in the constructors ahead of the reserve team of Cadillac. Aston Martin have got their work cut out to try and catch up, but with all the reserves that we've got in today, it seems Cadillac will likely be building a bit more of a gap to the Aston Martin team, unless Charlie and Theo can get their act together and get both cars on the podium this evening. So we say that as we are watching the Aston Martin of Charlie, as he's the first man who will be completing a lap in any capacity. We will go on board with him around the Spa circuit. Through the bus stop chicane. No DRS in this quali session as it is at the moment. So it's just down to ERS and driver's skill. Very tight through La Source. Bit of a tail wiggle on the accelerator there. As he comes through Radion and Eau Rouge. A big lift. Don't think that's going to help him, but it's only his first lap out. He is now pushing 200 miles an hour down the Kemmel Straight into Le Comte. Seems to be taking it easy for this first run out. Around Brussels we go. Still taking it very hesitantly through these corners as we come through the left-hander of No Name. I can't remember what its new name is because it now has a name apparently. Through the long, fast left-hander of Puon. Down into Campus. Big snap of oversteer in the wet here as we come through Stavelot, which is this corner here. Big drift from Charlie through Stavolo. That's not going to help his time. Now we are coming up to the bus stop chicane. Very tight right-left chicane here in Spa. Lots of wheel spin over the line. It's a 158. We have Calais behind him. 2 minutes. So let's see. We've got Bogarovsky about to come across the line now as well. Let's see where he can put his car. He puts it on pole with a 58.2. Behind him is Theo. Evidently an invalidated lap. Havoc Connor also with an invalidated lap. And we've got Grellis back. Oh, I completely missed Young Exility, but Grellis has put it on pole ahead of him. So Grellis reserving in the V-carb this evening. In the in place of Mr. Miyagi. And Mars Ranger has now really set the tone. A whole second ahead of Young Exility and 9/10 ahead of Grellis. Now we've got Skipper, who is coming back into the pits. He's not happy with how things were going. Oh, it seems Sportmad has now joined us as well. So, joined us during qualifying. We will see if Havoc Connor is now pushing. It seems he's using the battery. He is. Thank you, Nellboy. So, No Name is now Jackie X Corner. Thank you. Now Connor comes through Blanchimont. See how he does on his first timed lap that is not currently invalidated. Charlie has... both Aston Martins have increased their speed. Connor comes across with a 56.3. Young Exility behind him up to a 54.9. So, let's see. Mars Ranger going slow. Looks like he had minimum fuel in. Let's see, is Charlie on low fuel? It does not look like he is, so he's doing the normal thing you would do on the Inters and run for a long period of time, but it looks like it is now dry. So, as soon as the drivers feel confident enough, I have a feeling they will come out on the slick tyres. What I will do, let's have a look. Yep, we've got drivers putting on the softs ready for their run already, and a couple of them are already out on track. So that is a half-second improvement from Charlie. It's a 155.2. Keeps him in P4 for now. So, first of the dry runners is going to be Sportmad. I'm pretty sure he's happy that he came out of the pits when he did, when it comes to joining the qualifying session, because everyone now needs to pile into the pits to make sure that they get their runs done. I think NLD Rush came out a little bit late, and there is the DRS enabled just in time for Sport Mad to take advantage for it. So down the Kemmel Straight comes the Mercedes Reserve. DRS wide open for him there. And of course gets the purple sector. Now he's going to come through Brussels. Very neat and tidy through there. Is he going to be all right through Jackie X? A bit of grass touching there. Very wide on the exit, but keeps it in. Now through Pouon. A rather tight line through Pouon, but it seems to have worked for him. Now he's coming up on traffic, so we have to keep an eye out for potential blocking and impeding. So he's now got a purple sector 2 as well. Not sure if that was a personal best or, excuse me, or a session best. Aston Martin getting well out of the way there. As now Sport Mad comes across the line to set a 1:48.5. So the track is still green due to the rain early on in the session. So there's pretty much no rubber out there at the moment until these drivers decide to put it down. Very neat and tidy from Skipper going through the bus stop. And he goes second with a 49.9. Just showing everyone that the soft tyres are the optimal tyre to be on at this point. Who am I looking at there? It is... Okay. So these lads are on their out laps. But they have got Calais, who is on a fast lap, racing up behind them. So hopefully the drivers ahead can get out of his way if he gets close enough. Comes through the bus stop chicane. Little bit wide on the exit. Not quite the line he wanted, but it's fast. A 48.3 from Calais. Now we've got Cavolis to come across the line. What's he going to set? He goes fastest with a 44.2. I believe that is Grelis. Yep, there we go. I just missed him. A 43.6 from the V-Carb Reserve. So we now have Skipper going slow in the middle sector. Theo is on an out lap, so that is fine. Havoc Connor has already invalidated going through sector 1 by the look of things. Bogorovsky coming through Pouon, carrying a lot of speed by the look of it through that corner. Throwing caution to the wind here. He is coming up on the back of NLD Rush, though, so D Rush is going to have to use those mirrors and make sure he's out of the way of the Haas behind him, who has just set a purple sector 2. Good to see that the Kicksauber got out of the way this week. Evidently, he has taken the video suggestion from Nellboy to heart. Now where... Oh! Bog comes in and Young Exility goes top of the leaderboard so far with a 43.2. Havoc Connor comes in. D-Rush starts his lap. So, Calais continuing again, but has basically no battery. I wonder, is Young Exility going again as well? Well, for the time being, we'll go on with NLD Rush. We'll see if Calais gets out of the way, because he is not on a push lap. Yep. Gets out of the way well. No complaints from me there. It's a little off-putting for D-Rush, but he did not impede, so doesn't seem to be a penalty going his way. Coming through Jackie X corner now. Down the hill into Puon, a slight lift from D-Rush. Not quite trusting his setup to get him through there flat. We come through the campus complex and then through Stavilo. I always seem to find Stavilo is a difficult corner to get absolutely right. You have to carry enough speed. Oh, D-Rush didn't invalidate. He went off but did not invalidate. But he goes deep into the bus stop chicane. That's not the line he would have wanted. But it puts him P4 for now. Calais is likely coming in. Oh no, Calais is going again. He's recharged the battery and is going one more time. So we will go on with Mars Ranger for the time being, as he's had basically no camera time at this moment. So, as he comes up the hill into La Source, Young Exility has done his laps. He's not going to be doing another lap, which might be a slight mistake from the Williams reserve, because if I know Grelis, he is going to be looking at a high 42. As might this man. That is the purple Sector 1 for the McLaren. Through Brussels. Slight lift for Jackie X. Very neat and tidy so far. Keeps the speed going through Puon. Into the campus section. Now, can he hook it up around Stavilo onto Blanchimont? Let's see. D-Rush and Skipper are now done. Is Mars Ranger going to be able to get himself up onto pole position as Calais comes into the pits? Mars Ranger goes top with a 42.2. 1 whole second ahead of Young Exility there. Now, Bogorovsky is going to want to get himself away from P12 and get himself up the order as far as he possibly can. Through Blanchimont. Up into the bus stop chicane now. Heavy braking. Turns in early. Good job from Bogorovsky there. Where does this put him? Up into P6. So we now have Charlie coming across the line up to P4. Next is Havoc Connor. He goes up to P8. And Theo goes pole. That's an amazing lap from Theo. Cavolis puts himself in third. Sportmad goes pole with a 41.9. Now, I didn't catch who it was, but someone went second behind him there. That may well have been... Oh, it was Grelis going P3. So, there you have it, ladies and gents. For the 12 runners tonight, we have Sportmad and Theo on the front row. Grelis and Masked Ranger on the second. Third row is Cavolis and Young Exility. Fourth row is Charlie and LD Rush. Fifth row is Barry Bogrovsky and Havoc Connor. And bringing up the rear are Calais and Skipper. It just seemed to be a little bit of poor timing from Young Exility when it came to doing his lap. But also the same for Calais. I think if he had waited maybe one more minute to come out to set his lap, he might have been able to take advantage of the better grip from the other cars. But now it is down to the drivers sorting out their strategies. So while we wait for that, if you haven't joined us already on the Discord, the link is down in the description. Whether you want to be a driver, a steward, a commentator, or just a member of the community, make sure to hit the Discord link in the description below. Right, ladies and gents, it is time to go and get your beverages and your snacks, because this is going to go one of two ways. Either it's going to be really exciting, fast, close pace racing, or everyone is going to split up and we're all going to fall asleep. So, let's get all that data up anyway. Let's see what tyres people are choosing. So, the majority are on the mediums for the start of this race. Only 3 drivers on the hards, D. Rush, Bogrovsky and Havoc Connor, all starting on the hard tyres. Now I know why Grelis decided to go P3, just so he can get the camera time, because he knows I go on with P3 for the start of the race. So, those of you who are currently in the live chat, what do you think the podium is going to be? What is your prediction for the finish of this race? And yes, Johnny and Nell, I mean you too. Skipper is taking his time at the back here. Maybe he's planning to take advantage of the cooling effect sitting on the grid does to the drivers ahead. Who knows? To be fair, it's what I would do if I was at the back of the grid, so. So, is Grelis going to go for an aggressive angle? No, it looks like he's going for a straight-on angle. Meanwhile, Sportmad is going for a slight angle towards the outside of the corner. Nellboy is predicting a Theo, Marsh Ranger and Grelis podium. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. That held them for a long time. I am surprised no one got themselves a drive-through. as Theo goes for the dive around the outside. Let's have a look at everyone else. There is a Williams in the wall. It's Young Auxility. No, it wasn't. It was Calais. I do apologise. Bogrovsky and Connor both get themselves past D-Rush through La Source. Theo is ahead of Sportman. Looked like Sportmad was going to think about the dive there, but pulled out at the last second. Grelis quite content in third place, and Havoc Connor has been spun into Lecom. He is not going to be best pleased about that. He's on the hard tyres and he now has wing damage. I do apologise for the coughing, folks. I forgot to take my hay fever meds this morning and it has screwed up my sinuses something rotten. So now they come through Stavilo, Theo being followed by Sportman, followed by Grelis, who is leading ahead of Mars Ranger, Cavolis, Young Auxility and Charlie. Then there is a gap back to Calais, who seems to have gotten away with not getting any damage through the carnage that has ensued on lap 1 here. Bogorovsky is looking to catch the back of the Williams there. DRS is now enabled. D-Rush has got himself back up behind Bogorovsky, while Havoc Connor is staying out. He's going to keep those tyres on for as long as he can. It's going to be an absolute nightmare for him due to that damage. But here comes Sportmad on Theo. Easy move done with DRS. Kept it very tight through the corner. Nicely done by the Mercedes reserve driver. Theo and Mars Ranger are going to have their hands full with the reserves here. Oh, there goes Mars Ranger off the track. It looks like he got... Oh, and Connor is out. It is a VSC. Did he not manage to stop in Brussels? I do not know. The car is now gone, so we will not know. I'll have to ask him to grab a clip of that for my entertainment after the race. Now there is a 1 second gap between Grelis and Theo, but that has closed up under the VSC here. Are any of the drivers going to get a drive-through penalty? It would seem Connor's car is taking a long time to clear away. Bogorovsky comes into the pits. Did he have damage? We'll have a quick look, see if he is replacing a front wing. No, he's just sick and tired of the tyres he started on. And we are green. It is racing speed again. Now Sportmad has taken advantage of that and created a bit of a gap to Theo. He caught him sleeping a little bit. The Mercedes man doing a good job to get away from Theo at this point. Nellboy and or Johnny, can you ask Connor what happened and report back for the stream, please? So our closest cars to anyone are Charlie on Young Auxility, and Grellis on Theo. So we'll stick with these guys at the front for the time being, as the gap seems to keep growing between Theo and Sportman. Sportman is starting to run away now. Charlie being slow behind Young Exility has meant that Mars Ranger has caught up. So the McLaren made a mistake through the Jackie X corner, remember, and got himself all kinds of across the circuit. Straight onto the grass. He's lucky he did not get damaged by hitting the wall. But for now, we'll keep an eye on Grellis because he is in the DRS of Theo. And that is move done and dusted for the reserve driver. Charlie not close enough to Young Exility to get the move done there. Cavolis is now closed up on the back of Theo as well. So we've got a couple of battles going on here, along with a few gaps that are building. Mars Ranger is right on the back of Charlie. He does not care about the dirty air. He is getting as close as humanly possible to the back of the Aston Martin. He wants to be as close as possible to get the move done. The question is, will he get it done in the DRS zone on the start-finish straight, or will he wait until the camel? He's definitely putting Charlie under pressure. Bit of a lock-up from Charlie there, going into the bus stop. Grellis now has the fastest lap of a 1:46.1. Big tank slapper from Mars Ranger on the throttle. NLD Rush gets himself past Calais into the source, but Calais bumps him. That's unfortunate for NLD Rush, meaning he has now lost 2 positions, as Mars Ranger gets Charlie before the DRS zone. Let's have a look a bit further ahead. We've got Cavolis trying to close in on Theo. Theo trying to stay with Grellis. It is now a 2-second gap between the V-Carb reserve and the Mercedes reserve. So what happened, Connor, since you are now in chat? We didn't actually catch your incident that put you out. We caught the end of you losing your end plate, but we didn't catch the one that DNF'd. What happened? Theo doing everything in his power to get away from Cavolis and catch the back of Grellis. And Calais is round before Stavilo. Oh my word, that was not a great rejoin from the Williams, causing problems for Bogarovsky there. Now, Theo has a pretty much full battery. Grellis has less charge. Will he be able to keep the Aston Martin behind? Wing open on Theo's car. Does he have the battery to get the move done? No, he doesn't. Grellis is just that quick in a straight line with a bit of ERS burn. Cavolis doing well to keep with Theo and Grelis, even with them pretty much trying to catch up to Sportmad, but at this point I think Grelis will be happy with a podium as a reserve. So we can see there are a couple of gaps here. We've got Sportmad, then 3 seconds back is Grelis. He is closely followed by Theo and Cavolis. There is a 2.8 second gap back to Mars Ranger. Then another second gap back to Young Exility. Charlie seems to have had a bit of an incident. He is now 4 seconds back from Young Exility. Then there is Skipper, 11 seconds back from him, followed by his teammate by about a second. Then 2.5 seconds back we have Bogrovsky and then Calais on the same amount of distance. So let's have a look. Grelis is burning into Eau Rouge and Radion. Theo has saved his battery a little bit. Is he going to burn down the straight? No, he's not. He's actually recharging the battery. He's content to sit behind Grelis at this time. Okay, so Havoc Connor has reported to the reporters in the paddock that his brakes didn't work. Seems that his teammate cut his brake lines, and it sent him straight into the barrier on the left-hand side of Brussels. Also compounded by the fact that he didn't have the end plate on the left-hand side. So, as a little bit of a joke, we will pin it on Grelis, because it's always fun to do so. Cavolis has now dropped out of the DRS of the two ahead. These two have managed to pull themselves away from him. Bogorovsky is closing in on Skipper and D-Rush at the back here. Is Skipper going to make this awkward for Bogorovsky? We know he's a good defensive driver. He knows where to put the car. But he's also a fair driver. He gave the space. Bogorovsky stays behind for the time being. Is he going to get the move done in the DRS zone? No, he is not. Is Theo going to be able to close on Grelis? He cannot get close enough to Grelis to get the pass done. If this continues for the rest of the race, this is going to be your podium. Bogorovsky now gets the move done on the Camel Straight. He is now going to do what he can to catch and get past his arch nemesis of D-Rush. And I only say that because of the incidents that have happened between them in the past few seasons and races. Theo is starting to drop back in the middle sector from Grelis. He just cannot keep with Grelis in Sector 2. Does make me wonder what the setups are for these drivers, as we have got Mars Ranger coming into the pits on lap 9. The first one to come into pit, apart from Bogorovsky, of course, and Charlie is also in. So let's have a look. So Bogorovsky has already stopped. He's done 6 laps on the mediums already. Let's see. No penalties as of yet. Since we didn't do it at the beginning, we'll do it now. So our position changes are Grelis is up 1, Theo down 1. So they have effectively just swapped positions. Kavolis and Young Exility are up 1 position, with Mars Ranger dropping down 2. D-Rush and Bogorovsky are up 1 position. Theo gets the first 3-second time penalty. That is not going to help his case with trying to catch Grelis. Skipper is up 3 positions, with Charlie dropping 3 positions. I believe Charlie has just come into the pits, so he is going to be going to the end of the race on this compound, unless there is a late safety car. So the grid is now all kinds of spread out. There's no one currently within a second. I say that as Bogorovsky does breach the 1 second mark on D-Rush, as the front 4 all come into the pits. Along with Young Exility, Mars Ranger, are you going to get one hell of an undercut? Is this going to give you first place? Are you going to be able to make this work? Sport Mad and Grelis are out. So is Theo, but this puts Mars Ranger back up into P4. So he was able to undercut Kavolis with that early stop. Skipper and Calais are now into the pits as well. Bogorovsky is doing everything he can to catch the back of D-Rush here. He knows that he needs to catch the back of him, make the move, and get on down the road. So as you can see in the track map at the bottom there is a significant gap between Skipper and Charlie. And Kavolis gets himself a 3-second time penalty coming through Puon. That now puts him at risk from the drivers behind him. With 13 laps still to go, including the one we are on, he is going to have to put in mega laps, TT level laps around the track now to try and break away from the drivers behind. It looked like Grelis might have gone a little bit wide on the exit of the bus stop there, causing Theo to catch up ever so slightly. There is a yellow flag for Calais going wide through Stavilo. Let's see. So, Mars Ranger is catching the back of Theo at the moment. Bogorovsky finally gets the move done into Lake On. He'll be pleased to see the rear view mirror having a bright green car in it, so that he can pull away now and catch up to Kavolis as best as possible. Although I have a feeling Bogorovsky is going to have to pit again. He pitted very early onto these medium tyres. He is currently the only man on the medium tyres. Young Exility is catching up to the back of Charlie, but it looks like he has wing damage on the right hand side. He does. He is missing the right end plate on his front wing. Sportman now gets the fastest lap with a 1:46.1. Give me a better camera, please. So there are now 4 drivers very close together here. Is NLD Rush going to be able to keep Charlie behind here? It doesn't look like he will, especially with Charlie going to have the DRS coming onto the Chem straight. Charlie picks the outside, gets the move done nice and early. D-Rush cuts ahead of Young Exility, but still loses the position. Little bit of a lock-up from Young Exility going into Lecom, but that's to be expected when you are pushing 200 miles an hour with the DRS open. So Charlie now is doing what he can to get as close to the back of Bogorovsky. Seems Bogorovsky has lost a bit of time to Kavolis, purely for the fact that his tyres are not in the window that they were 3 laps ago. His tyres are starting to die off compared to the hard runners ahead of him. As Charlie now goes up the inside of Bogorovsky. Goes a little bit deep though, but still gets the move done as Bogorovsky comes into the pits along with D-Rush. D-Rush is coming off of the hard tyres. I believe he actually started on the hard, so that makes sense. Let's just double check that. Yep, this is D-Rush's first stop. So now it is a fight between Young Exility and Charlie. DRS is going to be open for the Williams driver. Goes to the inside, very far to the inside, and doesn't get the move done. Has he lost confidence in his car after getting the damage? I wonder. So they stay as they were, 6th and 7th. No, I'm not saying it the other way. And no, I'm not doing the hand gesture. Don't worry, Connor. So since we are over halfway through the race, I'm going to show a little bit of appreciation to the Mercedes reserve here of Sportman. He has taken the lead from Theo on the first lap and just absolutely ran away from the group. And there it is. There is another fastest lap that is then taken away by Grelis. Grelis is doing everything he can to catch the back of Sportman. He is bringing that time down. He is now hovering around 4 seconds. It was about 4.5 this time last lap. Young Exility is very close to the back of Charlie here. Is he going to be able to get the move done on the Camel? DRS opens now. He's a lot closer than he was last time. Is it going to be enough? Charlie moves to defend. Oh, very close, but space given. And Young Exility gets himself 3 seconds. Trying to go for the switchback on Charlie through Lecom. That's unfortunate. It was a good idea, but it with the damage, he could not pull it off and got himself a penalty for his troubles. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we need to keep an eye on the timing board here. No. No. Give me a better camera, you dumb game. I wish it gave you an option to choose which camera you want for each one. Because I can do that. But that's just as bad. But Grelis has now brought it down from 4 seconds to 3.5 seconds. He has taken half a second out of Sportman every lap for the past 3 laps. Calais gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Now, is Grelis going to be able to close this gap by the end of the race? Young Agility still on the back of Charlie here. Is he going to get the move done at the 3rd time of asking? Bogorovsky sets the fastest lap with a 1:45.5. So when he came into the pits, he slapped on a fresh set of medium tyres. As Young Agility finally gets the move done on the inside of Charlie, Charlie takes to the safety road, joins safely, does not risk the damage. Well, that was a good move from Young Agility. It's just a shame for Charlie that he had to bail out of the corner. He didn't feel he could make the corner without making contact. So if you have a look at the track map in the bottom right there, this is the closest fight at the moment, with the gap being 1.2 seconds. Everyone else is pretty much spread out, apart from Mars Ranger, who is 1.5 seconds behind Theo. And it seems Grelis's push for Sportmad has hit a little bit of a setback. He's now lost 3 tenths to the driver ahead. Now, whether that is Grelis not being able to push again, or whether Sportman has decided to put his foot down, we do not know. It could be either, it could be both. Who knows? I do apologise, I'm just going to have to quickly mute my mic. Apologies about that. So, as it stands at this moment in time, Sportman is still creating a gap between himself and Grelis. This is an impressive run from Sportman. Imagine what he could do if he was a full-time driver. Then we've got Grelis back in P2, 4 seconds behind Sportman. Then 4.5 seconds behind him is Theo. He is being somewhat closed down by Mars Ranger in the McLaren behind him. Then it's Kavolis, who is 7 seconds back. Then Young Agility, who is 10 seconds off the pace of the Alpine ahead. Then Charlie, who was ahead, but had to bail out at Lacombe. He is 1.4 seconds behind Young Agility. We then have Bogorovsky, who is 11.5 seconds behind them. Then D-Rush is trailing by 3 seconds to Bogorovsky. 15 seconds back from his teammate is Skipper. And then we have Calais, who is evidently struggling at the moment, but still going, and has done so every race that they have been in. They might not be used to the way this game plays after not racing for, I think they said it was 4 years. But at least they've got heart and they can actually get to the end of races. So I'm pleased for them in that sense. Let's go back on with the closest battle we've got, which is now quite a margin of 1.7 seconds between Charlie and Young Exility. Thank you, Connor. So, I'm just going to make up a rule now. Bog is going to get a 5-place penalty for sabotaging Haas and not being in Red Bull. He is fighting for another team tonight. So either these points get deducted from Red Bull and given to Haas, or he just loses 5 positions at the end of the race. It's up to you, Con. You are the F1 coordinator. Charlie is now catching up to the back of Young Exility. But you see, this is what happens when his teammate doesn't race. When Benny doesn't race, Bog gets it wrong. He even picks the wrong damn car. So we can all blame Benny. So, is Charlie going to be able to catch the back of Young Exility before the end of this race? Is he going to be able to get the pass and get the all-important points for Aston Martin? Because the way it looks on the timing boards now, Red Bull are not racing this week. So apparently Bogrovsky has had to deal with something IRL, so he has lost time to this fight ahead. Did Charlie get the DRS? He did. But loses a lot of time with wheel spin out of the bus stop chicane. Is he going to be able to get back into the DRS of Young Exility for the captain? No, he is not. He's not close enough. So it means he's going to have to burn the battery, which he is. He's using battery but not burning it in overtake to try and catch back up to the Williams ahead. Speaking of Williams, Calais gets himself another 3-second time penalty. Let's have a look at these penalties now. So, Theo Cavolis and Young Exility all on 3 seconds. Calais, the only one to get a second 3 seconds. Calais has come into the pits. This might be a risk. They might end up being a lap down when they come out. Soft tyres go on for the Williams. Are they going for the fastest lap? You can see Sportman in the background there. He gets out ahead, so that is fair enough. Good pit stop from the Williams team to get their driver out ahead of the front runners. So Young Exility is now trying to push his car to get away, and he gets himself another 3-second time penalty. Massive lockup coming into the bus stop chicane. And that means he is now going to drop behind Charlie. He was going to drop behind Charlie anyway, but he is now under pressure. And if Bogorovsky can pull his finger out, he will be able to get a position on Young Exility as well. Charlie goes for the inside, then the outside. Young Exility went defensive. Slight lock up from the Williams driver. Is Charlie going to be patient, or is he going to try and take the position in Sector 2? It seems that Young Exility is making mistakes now. He is under pressure and is starting to crack. As they come through campus, Charlie just drops back ever so slightly. Big snap of oversteer from the Aston Martin there. And he goes very wide through Stavilo. That's not the line you want to take. It's a good thing that this isn't F123, because where he just went, there was a large tire wall that would absolutely kill you if you went wide there. So he's very fortunate that they removed that in 24 and 25. So we have started the penultimate lap. Sportman is catching the back of Calais now, even though Calais is on the soft tyres. So, let's see. This is the closest battle on track still, and has been for a long time. Oh, nice helicopter cam. I do like the helicopter camera. But as soon as it ticks over to lap 22, we will go on board with Young Exility. Give him his time in the limelight. Calais gets themselves another 3-second time penalty. Here it comes. So, Sportman starts the final lap of the race. Big lock up into La Source. But he's able to keep the car, turn it in, and get away as well. He has created a 5.3 second gap back to Grelis. So Sportman can be pleased with his achievements here tonight. He's not lost the lead at all since lap 1. He was P2 on the grid and got ahead of Theo through La Source and has been there since. So, for one final time, we'll have a look at the penalties. So, Theo and Kavolis both on 3 seconds. Young Exility on 6 seconds and Calais on 9. The only one that's really going to affect anyone, unless Theo makes a mistake, is going to be Young Exility's penalty, which will dump him behind Charlie, but still ahead of Bogorovsky, so he only loses a place. But it's points at the end of the day. He would have preferred to finish in 6th place. Big lock up from Sportman coming into the final chicane and across the line to win the Belgian Grand Prix. Then followed by Grelis. P2 for the V-Car reserve. Theo comes across in 3rd. Mars Ranger comes across in 4th. So that's a good showing from Theo. He would have wanted more to close the gap on everyone else, but hey-ho. Cavolis comes across in 5th. Next, it will be Young Exility coming across the line, but he will drop behind the Aston Martin due to penalties. There we go. So Charlie finishes in 6th. Young Exility in 7th. Bogorovsky comes across the line in the wrong car in P8. D-Rush finishes the race in P9. No penalties. Very well done. Then we've got a little bit of time to kill until Skipper crosses the line. But it will be points for Skipper in D1. P10 for the Kick Sauber driver. Very good drive. Might not have been the quickest, but it was clean. Very well done. And last but not least is going to be Calais. All I need to say is they don't really have time to practice, so the fact that they show up every week and that they finish the race every week says a lot. If they could get the practice in and get used to the game, then I have a feeling they would be considerably more competitive. So congratulations to Sportmad, Grelis and Theo on the podium finish. So race winner Sportmad, fastest lap Barry Bogorovsky. Driver of the day is Skipper. Most overtakes Skipper. Cleanest driver Sportmad. So the only driver to not finish the race this evening was Havoc Connor, but I will say he is trying out a new configuration on his pad. He's now using triggers, and it's not something he's really all that used to. So the fact the brakes did not want to work for him, I completely understand. But well done to everyone. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching. That has been DTR Division. So, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for being here. We will be back tomorrow night for Division 2 with Nellboy on comms, 8 PM GMT. I will be back next week for Division 1, 8 PM GMT on Wednesday. Hope to see you there. Hope you all have a wonderful evening. Good night.